Chip Shetland here with the FFFFL News. I am joined today by Mudd Mustang. So your draft was this weekend. Let's talk about how you did. Alrighty, Chip Shetland here. So your draft was this weekend. As a lot of people, it's the weekend before the regular season starts. In your drafting, you try to avoid getting these guys that have injuries in the preseason. So, Mudd, how are you doing today? Did you draft this weekend?
I did, yes. And I've came away very knowledgeable about the players that I did draft. One player that I do want to talk about is a guy by the name of Tyler Boyd. He's the receiver for the Bengals. Got a lot of playing time last year as the top target because of A.J. Green's injury. And on top of that, A.J. Green is starting the year injured as well. Now you can get this guy at the expense of a 5th or 6th round pick, and he has a chance to even produce more than last year. He had 76 catches, 1,028 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I think he can go well over 1,100 yards, and he has a chance to even run A.J. Green out of Cincinnati.
Absolutely. Yeah, Tyler Boyd, getting him in the 5th or 6th round, you're getting pretty much your number one receiver in the 5th or 6th round, in which you can't do that very many places. Most of your number one receivers are going in the first 3 rounds. And then when you get in the 5th, 6th, 7th rounds, you're getting guys that are your number 2, your slot receivers, and they're not going to be as dependable as Tyler Boyd. And he received for over 1,000 yards last season, and you're right, he has every chance to do it again this year. I want to talk about a guy named Tariq Cohen. So Tariq Cohen, he is a Swiss Army knife. This guy does it all, nicknamed the human joystick for good reason. That the last guy that was named that was Dante Hall, and Dante Hall was just as electric as Tariq Cohen is. He catches the ball well. He caught it for over 700 yards last year. How many? He had 71 catches for over 700 yards, 99 attempts rushing for over 400. Only 8 touchdowns, but the yards in PPR leagues, that is all you're looking for. Both of these guys have great upsides. A lot of guys out there do have good upsides. A lot of them seem like they have good upsides. But then you have guys kind of like Melvin Gordon out there, and he just seems like a risk. What do you think about that?
Well, I know a couple guys who drafted him in the 1st or 2nd round. I think he's a huge red flag, especially considering that he's still holding out. The team has already suspended contract talks till next offseason, and given that he's probably valued by the Chargers at multiple 1st-round picks, you really don't have a team that can really give up that's also in need of a running back. Like Houston, they already traded 2 1st-round picks to the Dolphins. You know, you look at the Chiefs, they just signed LaShawn McCoy to pair with Damian Williams. You know, what is he really worth to the Chargers? And doesn't really seem like he's wanting to put in as much effort.
Absolutely. And they have Eckler, I think, as their backup, and he served them well in the past. Melvin Gordon right now, he's just not. You have a lot of those guys last year who got burned by Le'Veon Bell, and he held out the whole year. And I know that was the thing with Melvin Gordon and with Ezekiel Elliott this year. But I think Ezekiel Elliott, they are already in the midst of a contract.
Yes, sir. They're just finishing up negotiations this week. Should have it by probably the middle to end of the week.
Yeah. Okay. So you got Melvin Gordon. Another guy out there is Eric Ebron. Last year he produced big for him, but he still plays second fiddle to Jack Doyle. Luck's gone, so Brissett's going to be there. They just brought in Brock Osweiler.
Who knows if he's going to start?
Yeah, and not just that, but the guy he had a good go in Denver, but who couldn't when they had that Denver defense? It was just an all-star defense. Anyone could have won that Super Bowl. Peyton Manning, he wasn't even. They put strings on his body and just drug him around the field. So Eric Ebron and Melvin Gordon both, while they produced big and passed, Melvin Gordon might not even play this year. And Eric Ebron, he's a hit or miss guy. He's kind of a touchdown vulture. So I don't know if you really want to take a chance on those guys. Some guys you might want to look at taking a chance on. You have guys like Josh Gordon. So Josh Gordon, he is back from a suspension with the New England Patriots, and I think there might be a chance for some upside here. What do you think?
I definitely think so as well. You can definitely get him probably in the later rounds, probably around the 7th or 8th round. He had 720 yards receiving on 40 catches and 3 touchdowns with New England last year.
Yep.
Of course, he only played a couple games with Cleveland, but they had Tyrod Taylor, so he didn't reach his full capacity with Cleveland, of course. But with Tom Brady, it seemed like a match made in heaven, burned defenders for a couple long touchdowns, and now he's going to be starting alongside Julian Edelman on the outside with no Rob Gronkowski, and they just released Demaryius Thomas. And you can't forget Tom Brady at quarterback either. You know he'll get the ball one way or another. So he has a chance to maybe even clear 1,000 yards this year now that he's getting a full slate under his belt.
Yeah, yeah. And Josh Gordon, you can't forget when he was with Cleveland, and he did play a whole season. He was the best receiver in the league. Everybody wanted some Josh Gordon. He's well over 1,000 yards. The dude was like breaking records that year with receptions and touchdowns.
Back-to-back games with 200 yards receiving.
Absolutely, and I think he might be the only guy that's ever done it.
He was the first guy to ever do it, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's still there. And you've seen flashes of it last year. He is still a long ball threat. So you have Josh Gordon out there. And another guy to look for is Adrian Peterson. Now, guys out there in Washington, last year he got an ACL injury. Adrian Peterson came off the bench, rushed for over 1,000 yards. This dude is old, and he still ran like the old AP. This year, I think it still could work out for him because he's a good change of pace back. If Geis gets hurt again, he's going to be there. The guy's going to be there. He is Old Faithful. He is the old Texans receiver.
Andre Johnson.
He's the old Andre. He's Father Time of the running backs. He just you plug him in almost anywhere it seems like, and he does a good job. Last year was a surprise with him because he didn't do so well with the Saints, and the last year with the Vikings he didn't fare well either. But last year he came through. He had a 1,000-yard season, and I think he is he's a great candidate if you can get him late on in the rounds. So that is going to be our segment for this week. Mudd, I appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate you having me.
Okay, so we will get around to you later on. All right, thanks for being here.